Hi, what's up everyone? I am GCROCK and welcome to today's video. Today I want to share a build with you, and it came about from a stream that we did, or a couple of streams that we did last week. We did a summit challenge. I gave my community a big challenge as part of our community league this year, where they had to complete the summit in the most difficult way possible. Now, you know the summit and you know the most difficult way of doing this is on legendary difficulty with every directive added. So that's all 10 directives. It was a huge challenge, and when we sat down and thought about builds, I was thinking about a tank build. I thought a tank build would be very handy to take aggro, to also do objectives as we went, and I felt like a tank build along with the hot shot one-shot build which Matt was using would get the job done, and it did. Now, I was having struggles at first because the tank builds that I had weren't great for all of the directives. One of the directives on the summit is the one where the enemy has special ammo, and when White Tusk have special ammo, that will disrupt you, which means if you have a shield out like I do now and get hit by one of those special ammo rounds, you lose your shield and all of a sudden your tank build is pretty much pointless. But someone in Twitch, I forget the name, so I do apologize, but if you're watching this video, do let me know, remind me of your name, I'll remember it was you, and you gave me this build. You said try this tank build, you'll love it and you'll not go back, and I did. It really helped us get the job done. We got all 100 floors completed with every single directive. So thank you so much. And I just want to share this build with you guys today, as I do believe it's probably the best tank build for the summit if you want to play on legendary with directives. The build looks like this. Let's start with the specialization. We'll go in technician. Reason for this, it gives us an extra skill tier, but also we want to use the Artificer Hive, which is a special skill which is only available if you have this specialization, and it works good. I did try this build without the Artificer, but the Artificer really does give that shield a kind of like invincibility effect at times, and it was hard not to have it on, if I'm being honest with you. As for the weapons on the build, they really don't matter in terms of primary and secondary. I wasn't using them at all, really, but I did use the sidearm to my advantage, and the sidearm is the mosquito, the exotic mosquito. The talent on this, which makes it so good, is the mosquito song, where hitting an enemy applies a stack, and those stacks are shared between players. At 10 stacks, the enemy will forcefully target the last player to apply a stack for 5 seconds. So this was very good. I was able to just keep on shooting targets that were a problem to Matt, who was the hot shot one shot DPS, and I could take away like the Johnny Fives or anything that was annoying him. So I used the mosquito, and then the build looks like this. We go with the Ninja Bike backpack. We all know what this does. It gives you weapon damage, armor, and a skill tier. I've thrown a protection from elites mod on that as well. And then I had 3-piece foundry, 1-piece cavalier, and a lengmo. So the foundry chest was used. For 2 pieces of this, I'm getting total armor. For 3 pieces, I'm getting armor regen and shield health. And for 4 piece of foundry with the ninja bike, I'm getting makeshift repairs whenever me or my shield takes damage. 25% of that amount is repaired to both over 10 seconds. I had an armor roll, hazard protection roll, and a protection from elites roll on that as well with the mod. And the talent with the chest, the foundry, is improved materials, which increases the makeshift repairs from 25 to 35%, which is very handy. So we had the chest piece of foundry, the holster of foundry, and the knee pads of foundry as well. They're all rolled with armor and hazard protection, because we want to get hazard protection as high as we can to deal with the disrupt. Now, the gloves were Cavalier. Again, we have Cavalier with armor and hazard protection rolled onto that. And because of the Ninja Bike, we get the 2-piece bonus, which is 30% hazard protection on the gloves. And then finally, we have the mask, which is a Lengmo mask, and this gives me 20% explosive resistance. I guess skill health of 25% with the ninja bike as well. This goes to the shield to give my shield some more health. I've got an armor roll, crit damage roll there, hazard protection roll, and disrupt resistance roll. That crit damage roll is doing absolutely nothing. You would probably want some more explosive resistance, I'd guess, is the best roll if you could get that, or health, but I'd say explosive resistance if you can. And the reason why we're going disrupt resistance on the mod there is because you want to reach 100% disrupt resistance on this build. So that's how the build is, and that's how it worked. We have the bulwark shield there with the artificer hive, and if we have a look at the stats, you'll see where my hazard protection is at. The aim of this build really is to make yourself kind of invincible, but you want to get disrupt resistance at 100%. You can see my hazard protection there in total is 90, but because of that one mod that I've thrown on, I've got 100% disrupt resistance. That is what you're aiming for. So do play around with your rolls, because if they're not all optimized, you might need to throw on 2 disrupt resistance mods instead. But as long as you're at 100% on this, then fill out all the other mod slots with protection from elites, as that's just going to make you more tankier. I really did enjoy this build, and I feel like without it, we would have found this challenge a lot more difficult. For me, it's definitely the best tank build I've used in the summit, and thank you again for the guy on Twitch that suggested that I should use this. If you're looking to take on summit yourself with a friend and you want a good tank build and you want to put on as many commendations as you can on legendary, this build will certainly help you. I'm up for discussing other strategies though. I know a lot of people like the summit still. It's not everybody's favorite mode, but do you play legendary summit? Have you completed it with all directives? What was your strategy to do this as well? Because this did take us quite a long time. It took 2 streams. I'm not sure how many hours in total, but I'm going to say something around between 6 and 10 hours in total to get this done, or even longer. So what's your strategy? What's your builds? What sort of builds do you like to use on such a challenge on the summit? I'd be interested to read them, because we want to do this again at some point, and we want to do the ultimate task, I guess, of doing it in a 4-person scale. We actually finished this off in a 3-person scale and brought in a crowd control to help with the hunters here. But it's a great build, so I want to share that with you today. Thank you for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, hit like, subscribe for more content from myself. And until next time, take care and peace out.